excellent explanation of how the blockchain can actually help artists by verifying payments. If you want to tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. So from a macro standpoint, we're hearing a lot at the World Economic Forum about trust. And what I would pose for your consideration is that blockchains have the ability to disintermediate the need for trust. We pay lots of intermediaries a lot of money because we can't technically trust each other. And what blockchains do is they pose the ability to have essentially peer-to-peer transactions. So the example in the music industry is Imogen Heap, Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter, put a song on the Ethereum blockchain. And we can go into Ethereum offline, but I believe that is the next generation of the internet. And she put a song on the blockchain, and a fan was able to pay for that song for £1 for round numbers. 17 seconds later, Imogen got 92%. The bass player got 1%. The drummer got 1%. The guitarist got 1%, etc., etc. And basically what that did was created disintermediation to Apple, Spotify, iTunes, etc. And that's just one example of a basic peer-to-peer transaction. You can take that same example and apply it to electricity. So if Alice lives in a house with a solar panel, she can actually take that energy and tokenize a renewable energy credit and sell that across the street to Bob through a smart meter. So blockchains have the ability to essentially disintermediate and disrupt every industry that uses a database or the internet.
So does that mean therefore that there'll be no more lovely lunches at Davos because the blockchain isn't going to sponsor them next year? What's going to happen to the banking systems in an age of where you don't require a bank to be the intermediary?
The example that I use is gap accounting, so basically double entry accounting. So if you were to give me £1, there would be a credit in my books for that pound and a debit in your books for that pound. And I could be disingenuous and change that to £1.50, you could change it to 99 pence. And essentially what the blockchain now offers is a watermarking, so that when you give me that pound, there is an immutable ledger entry that basically reconciles that you indeed gave that to me, and we cannot change that. So what you just did in that example is automated audit. So KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, Ernst & Young basically have that menial process automated, and then their value is going to be at a higher level of the process. So basically they're going to be on kind of reconciliation of defining what that input was for. So I think the stakeholders of Davos are going to have to think about where they just provide trust, and that is going to be removed, versus where they add value in advisory, etc.
There's a lot of bankers breathing a sigh of relief there, I'm sure. And also, perhaps we won't have presidents who have their finances stuck in an audit in the future. Are you guys as